Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brunch. Allie, fuck you. Broncos country. Let's fucking ride, guys and gals. We are going to do well today. I have a feeling, though I am mad. I went to bed excited that the Chiefs were going to lose a game, their first game, and then somehow they pulled it out. I don't know. But this is not a football stream. We're not here to talk football. We are here to talk Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Oh, look at that. I have reviews already queued up, and I'm getting way ahead of myself. So let's pop the game on over. Of course, my multi-chat is not working. It never does. I need to figure that out. How is everybody on this fine Sunday? Sound effects on. And as for my medicine, I know somebody had mentioned it. I actually cannot take my medicine right now because I ran out. And last Sunday, I went to CVS and I said, hey, you guys called me about my medicine. Can I have it? And they said, no, it's coming tomorrow. And of course, I couldn't go tomorrow because school. But I went yesterday at. No, the Chiefs didn't lose. Didn't they win by like 3? Or was I not paying attention to Bones? I didn't look at the final score. I was reading what Bones said. Oh, fuck. Yes, they did lose. Fuck. I was reading Bones's group chats about the end of the game, and he made it sound like they won. And it pissed me off. So I'm happy they lost. Good. That made my day. That made my morning. I was really annoyed. I should have probably checked the final scores of that game, huh? Anyway, I went to CVS yesterday, and for some reason, the pharmacy was closed down. And no, it wasn't lunchtime. It wasn't 2 o'clock. It was like 6:30. So I'm going to have to go today and get my vitamins. Right, Bones had posted something in our chat. He's like, "Oh man, I don't know how blah blah blah. They didn't deserve to win," and I assumed that they pulled it out of their ass somehow. Oh, fuck you, Xander. Couple of things. Number one, somebody had mentioned in a YouTube comment a few days ago. They said that they needed something chill to listen to, and they got really high and they listened to my latest brunch stream. I don't know how I'm chill. I feel like I get loud. I get boisterous. I don't get entertained. Like I don't do the dancing monkey thing. It's just my personality. But hey, kudos. I am kind of tickled by the idea that somebody would say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get high and listen to Egg. Forgive me, Father. Forgive me, Swugga Fathers, for I have sinned 10,000. It's been 10 million days without R9 Duel of the Fates. Oh, screw you. Adis, that might be it, honestly. It's possible. I don't normally go late at night. I'm just going to have to go after brunch today to get my pills. Number 2 on the docket, Raid reached out to me again yesterday. Now, I know Raid reaches out to every content creator. This is the second time. And first time, I was very polite. I sent them a very polite email telling them no. I said, I don't do short form video. I have a very particular audience, and I don't think they would like me doing Raid videos for no reason. And I guess I'm curious, since they've reached out to me today, how I should respond to this time. My thought was that I was going to provide them with like a very large number for doing a video where I give honest thoughts, and then much larger numbers in a scale of how much they want me to not say bad things. But it just came in last night. I haven't had the opportunity to like really think about it, discuss it, figure it out. Do that with painting with Egnards. Painting with Egnards, I am very excited about. I enjoy the segment. It is stressful, especially when you have things like Fat Phil in a Wampa suit. But I do save all of the pictures. and I was actually just looking at them about a half hour ago, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. Like, this is silly. I enjoy this. All right, let's get into it. We got TB. What time is it? It is 11. Let's say it's 12. Let's see how the guild is doing. I think from looking last night, we were doing pretty well. We are waiting on one friend on their platoons. Hopefully they get that in. We should find a Wampa onesie. Ali, actually, I saw Nooch sent him a picture of a Wampa Halloween costume, and I've been trying to get him to buy it. Fill in a Wampa suit. I'll put it on Discord later, Warlock. It was part of a brunch that I did last week, last Monday. Just remind me after the stream. I do save them all. I'm gonna have to get myself like a Bob Ross wig for painting with Egnards, and we'll use the Bob Ross wig every week when it comes time for that. Hey, Harvey, or not Harvey. I like the name Harvey and a cup of tea. I'm a sucker for rhyming. Thank you for joining us. Painting with Egnard's channel. Oh my god. Maybe I will during the school year when I think that a painting with Egnard segment, it would piss people off enough to just unfollow on YouTube. And again, kind of like with the advanced videos, it might just tickle me and make me laugh. Hey, listen, you don't know what Mrs. Phil is into. She could be into that shit. You don't know. We have no idea. Mrs. Phil might be like going, oh, hey, Bob Ross is my jam. I didn't do the math today. I don't know how far we off are from 44. I know we had an errant miss deploy that didn't happen in phase 4. That might affect our ability to get 44 today for the first time. I'm hoping not. It would be really nice to hit that new stride. Top 3 Omicrons, man, that's really, really tough. I did just do the video on them because things like the Tarples Omicron are a favorite of mine, but I also think it's very low tier right now since there's no reason to bring Gungans to R9. I definitely think Enoch Omicron is a top one. It is a top contender. 3 of those characters you're bringing to R9 regardless. You should be bringing to R9 regardless. I think the Depa Omicron is a really solid one as well. Because once you get Jedi Master Mace Windu, that's a 3-man that you really do want to take to R9. And if you want to go further with that team, Plu Koon should be R8 already for you. And what's his name? Keller and Beck should be R7 already. So it makes the transition to an R9 team in TB very, very, very easy. When is Moon doing the drawing with Egnard's video intro? I'll have to ask him. I've been leaning on Moonborn so much recently. There's so many things that I have him do that I try to back off sometimes and give him some time with his family. He is a teacher also. And I know he is trying to get like an administration job. And so I try to be cognizant of his time as much as I possibly can, that is. Let's see. We are on Mandalore. There we are. Ice Planet. Room enough for all you. 3 a.m. Wampa onesie. Somebody's getting really fun, having a lot of fun with the ads, Allie. I'm doing my best right now to keep up with both chats. Like I said, my my multi-chat seems to break every other video that we do. It is very annoying to me. But I can't get rid of Streamlabs because they have folders. And I love putting folders inside of folders. It might be one of my favorite things to do. And OBS does not allow me to do that. Adis, I remember ThinkGeek, man. I loved ThinkGeek. It was very, very, very sad day when they sold to GameStop. There was one year that I bought all my gifts from ThinkGeek, and this was during the heavy bacon phase when everyone liked bacon. And I bought like I'd say like $200 worth of bacon themed stuff. Most of it for my brother. And the next week I ordered like one t-shirt, but ThinkGeek screwed up and reshipped my first order too. So I had a whole second set of all this bacon themed stuff for free. And this is before I knew the rules about errant sending of stuff, and I tried reaching out to them. I was like, hey, can I get this back to you? Like, I didn't order any of this stuff. And they were just like, nah, fam, you're good. Keep it. Enjoy. Merry Christmas. I loved that website so much. It was crazy. There was like, I have actually somewhere, I don't know if it's in my room. Let me see if it's in here. I don't know where it is. Let's see. I might have lost it in the move, but I had a can of tactical bacon, which was like this gimmicky 10-year bacon that would last for 10 years, and it was in a canister that had like an AK-47 on it. It was very funny, and I always meant to actually do it. I always meant to actually eat it, and I never was able to do it. So it is what it is, but that was the bacon theme. That was the bacon time. What are we doing? Mandalore. Listen, don't fuck with user 1234 like that. He's my homie. All right, you are ahead of me time-wise. I feel like we were just talking about breakfast for you, and I was like, what do you mean breakfast? It's 5 in the morning for me. Oh, God. Let's see. I always love when the game can play itself. It's like my favorite time of day. It's okay, I'm a morning person. Though I did go to bed late last night. I was working on that Swugga stuff, and then I was watching Only Murderers in the Building, and then I realized it was like midnight, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta be up at 5. So it was a rough morning this morning. Oh God. Yeah, I think most of the people that I communicate with on the regular in this game are in, like, somewhere around, like, Germany. We have some fans in the Middle East. We have some fans in Eastern Europe as well. I think it just lends itself to the fact that I stream so early in the morning. that it's all of the people who are in the other parts of the world that watch. And then you have Allie, and Allie is in my time zone, so for her, she's up. But you have kids, so that makes sense. Can the DTMG team with Enoch, Omicron clear every combat mission? So far, they can clear everyone that I've seen. Now, I will say, and I'll caveat, that when I do this mission that I'm doing right now, I do not use the best team. I use Dark Trooper because that's who I have at R8. Scout Trooper would be a much better option. So I do sometimes lose this battle using an inefficient team. But I need my relic materials for other things. Let's see. I'm just such, you know what? When I was a teenager, I was not a morning person. But I started teaching martial arts at the time, and my boss had Saturday morning classes, and he always put me on the schedule for Saturday mornings to teach. So I just learned to become a morning person over time. And now I just am a morning person. And during COVID, I've said this before, but during COVID, I was having a really bad insomnia. I would go to bed at like midnight, and I would wake up at 2 in the morning completely rested. And that really screwed with my ability to fall asleep. And people would say, "Oh, you need to exercise more." And I would tell them like, "Hey, I literally ran like 12 miles yesterday on my treadmill." It really screwed with me. So I am lucky to get 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. And if I go to bed early, I get screwed over. Like if I go to bed at 9, I'm waking up at 3 in the morning. Yeah, let's do this one. Do I put the circle folder in the square folder? I don't know how I missed that. We need to put that, we need to integrate that into the stream somehow. The circle, this goes into the square hole thing. Because I do think it has become our vibe here, and everybody just knows that I'm gonna reference that. It's basically like, right, like Death and Taxes. The two things that Egg is always gonna reference, other than ROI, is the shapes that go into the square folder, and just how awfully long an Ayn Rand novel is. Those are just the two things that I'm always going to go after, basically any chance that I can get. You know what? I screwed up this mission. I did not use my AoE. I'm gonna lose this, I think. Maybe not. Hopefully not. But I definitely screwed up the mission because I was too busy talking. Let's hope for the best. Come on. Okay. That actually, maybe that saves me. And RO9 lover boys, man. You know, like anytime I see an account that does not have R9 lover boys, it hurts. Especially when it's a late game account. Like if I see a late game account, right? We've seen a couple of those recently where we have like everything, where you're a 12 million account and you don't have R9 lover boys. It hurts my very soul. Ali, you are correct. Everybody who watches on the East Coast is people, are people who also stream. There are a few people though, because I've met a couple of people, Smalls, Smalls is from about an hour away from me, and we've met up for beers before. Chigoda, who is on Reddit, we met up for beers a few times, well, one time. Something in the H2O, who we haven't seen in a little while. I don't know if he even plays the game anymore. We met up for beers a bunch of times. Allie, do you need me and Logan to come upstate? We will I don't know if I should say fuck up some bitches on a recorded medium, because if something happens, then I'll probably be on the hook for that. I don't know if I want to be on the hook, but you know. Attic, what do I stream about? I don't stream about anything. This is Brunch. Brunch is a fun time. We do whatever's going on in the game. We do Conquest, we do TB. I'll do GAC on some odd nights, but not usually. You can't do it for Brunch because there is no GAC going on at that time. We do painting with Egnards, where we try to very poorly draw Star Wars characters. We invite other streamers on, other content creators. We have conversations and chats that are a little bit more academic than just getting mad. I have been told that my vibe in this community, if Ani is here, is disappointed dad who's not mad, he's just disappointed. So we are we're just here to have a good time. I'm here to teach people things. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to teach you how to do things. My vibe, other people say my vibe is disappointed dad. My vibe, I think, is I'm lazy. I am a procrastinator. I hate putting in work and effort. So I am going to put in so much work and so much effort, so much more than is possible or needed or necessary, so that I can save my time on the downline. And because I'm a nice guy, I share those resources with others so that you guys can save your time as well. That's our whole vibe. That is Brunch in a nutshell. That is Egnards in a nutshell. How to get by in Swugga without really trying. I guess you can be entertained. I'm just... Don't expect it from me. Don't put those expectations on me, because then, you know, then I feel weird about it, and then I feel like I have to perform. And I don't want to perform. I want to do the things that I find funny. And when people accuse me of performing, I can say, no, I did that because I found it hilarious. It's the Egnards way. It's the Egnards vibe. It's how we do things here. My capital income portfolio. My portfolio of resources on Discord. My portfolio of people who understand I know what I'm talking about and support me so that I can pay my mortgage on a teacher's salary. And you know what? Those people also help me to be able to help other people for free too. Because I said this on Reddit 3 days ago. On one of my rare Reddit posts now, you know, when I monetize things, I monetize convenience, not information, right? Like, I believe the information should be free. I want to help people. I want people to be helped. If you're paying me for something, it is for the convenience, not for the information, because I make sure the information is out there. There we go. I need a dancing. If I had a bigger house, Allie, really, if I did, if I had a I wish if I could have a closet dedicated to just stupid shit, that would be amazing. Or, oh no, we don't want to do this one, right? We want to do. Yeah, I actually. So again, I've said this. I'm the CPI coordinator for my district, and that means I have to deal with the special ed department often. And my special ed director is constantly. She's one of those people where every time I email her, she will write back a paragraph before answering my question that'll be like, "Thank you for everything you do. You are so special, and you're a guiding star in our life." And it just takes up my time and effort and energy every single time. We bought 2 years ago. I think they're around 7 right now. I bought 2 years ago with my wife. We actually bought only in my name because my credit score is much higher than my wife's, so it gave us a better score. Our mortgage rate after paying points to get it lower is a 6.15. And if I bought a year earlier, it would have been like a 2.5, which kills. But unfortunately, I did not have enough money at the time for a down payment, and we're gonna thank my dad for passing away. Brain cancer did something right, and being able to use a portion of his home equity for that. So it is not fun. I do look at the rates pretty often. I cannot wait to refinance at some point. Let's do Hondo in here. I don't know. Oh, if I could get a 4%, oh my God, I would be living pretty. Even I know you're saying a 4% difference, but if I could get a 4%, I would be living pretty. I would be in a beautiful position. Why is my Mon Mothma Relic 9? Because at my level of the game, I don't know where you're at in the game, Attic, but at my level in the game, I need R9 platoons in order for my guild to be able to do the things that it needs to do. And so I have a lot of shit tier platoons, a lot of characters that you would not normally take to Relic 9. Like Hoth Rebel Soldier is Relic 9, not because I want to, because my guild needed it. And when you get to my level in the game, it really does come down to being a team player and doing things that you don't necessarily want to do all the time. You know, so I do them. I was ready to take Jolie Bindo to Relic 9 today for the guild, but I was yelled at by my other TB officer, who tells me that I am banned from doing platoons for a while. Middle East, by the way, pretty much all rates on mortgages are floating. Yeah, I know in other areas of the world, they do things differently. I believe someone was telling me that in some countries, I don't know if it's Canada or England, or I should say the UK, where you, I think it's Canada, where you sign like a 5-year lock-in on your rate, but then every 5 years or so, you have to relock the rate. And variable mortgages exist here too. They're just unfavorable. They're undesirable unless mortgage rates happen to be really, really, really high. So, I mean, I think I'm luckier than people buying houses right now, personally. You know, 6.15 is not the worst thing in the world. And that, I mean, that was with like an 805 credit score too, but we're watching like a hawk for a refinance. Once it gets down to like 5, we will. we will try to refinance out. Just floating all the time. It's insane. And then, you know what? Somebody from South Korea, if there are any in here, can correct me. But I was reading that in South Korea, their system is totally different. Like, you rent houses from homeowners, but you pay like 50% of the price of the house. And the homeowner uses that money to create income over that time. And when you leave a house, you get the entire principal back. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even understand the system. I've heard Rocket Mortgage is good. What I did, I went with somebody, and it was a very funny story because they tried to give me a 7.5, and I called the guy, and I went to Ally, and I did a thing with Ally, and they offered me to right off the bat like 6.25. And I called my guy, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this 7.5 you're trying to give me? And he was trying to write it off as being a really great rate. And I was like, dude, like, I wasn't born yesterday. Like, I'm very financially savvy. I'm not poor, I'm not rich, but I know how to use money. I know how to look for the good deal. And he had said to me, he's like, oh man, like, oh, well, you know, I'll never be able to compete with those banks like that, but like, you have to think of me and like my family, and I have to get paid. And I was like, I also have to think about my family. I'm not paying you an extra $50,000 over 30 years because of your family. Like, get into a better business, I guess, right? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Oh my God. I would sit pretty on that 2.5, 2.25. Holy shit. If I had a 2.25, fuck. Fuck, my fucking mortgage would be a beautiful thing right now at 2.25. And I live in North Jersey, so like housing prices are stupid, insane. I live in a tiny house. Like, our house is not big at all. And it was $500,000. It's disgusting. I have been having trouble with this mission recently, where I am just getting destroyed. Like, this happened last time too, where I was just in the red constantly. That's insane. Yeah, I had to move like 30 minutes. I used to, my school was 2 minutes from my old apartment. And I used to go home for lunch every day. And it was really nice because my wife works from home. But now I can't do that. But it was very nice while that lasted. All right, let's see. You're not usually supposed to use first special. You're supposed to just use just auto basic, and him getting that protection is supposed to do it. And I've won that battle so many times, but the last two has been really rough. I I was renting during COVID, and because everything was insane, and our apartment was not bad for the prices for the area, And we were like, we're staying here as long as possible because the prices were nice for the area. We were paying $1,600 a month, which I know for some of you in here are like, holy shit, that's a lot. But for North Jersey, it's like nothing. Let's do that. I had a friend that sold his condo during COVID, and he kind of did the same thing. He was like, you know what, let me just sit on this until everything stabilizes out and I'll buy again. And he just bought again last year, but he ended up living with his in-laws for like 4 years. And his wife loved it. His wife loved living with her parents again, but he hated it. He was so done by the end of it. Might be playing this battle too carefully. See. Okay, good. We got you up. Want to get them down to like 1. And then hopefully just spam Tarkin getting abilities and finish off the next wave in like 1 shot. That would be super ideal. It's annoying. That is very annoying. Oh my god, that is so... Come on. That is the worst. To get this bonus protection gone. You know, before this guy died, or didn't die, I had hope. Now I don't have that same hope. So we're just going to do this because I don't see myself getting to round 2. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, that's not happening. All right, let's catch up on chat. What's chat doing? I bought the house. The job mission is a pain for me too. I got an apartment. What kind of updates to the Heir system would you make? What changes do you realize you think Siege will make? Yeah, well, I would not have sold if I knew I could not afford rent. Yeah. Well, for him, his idea was, I'm gonna live with my in-laws. It wasn't even I can't afford rent. It was just him being we could just not rent for a few years, live with your parents and buy a house. And he's not the brightest person in the world. Attic, I grew up on the border of New York and New Jersey, like literally right on the border. So I actually, I was born and I grew up in New York. I moved to Jersey because when I started getting into teaching the law in New Jersey, Chris Christie, New Jersey First, was that you had to live in New Jersey if you had a government job. And I think it's still technically the law, but like nobody follows it anymore or enforces it. HodHod, I'm having trouble with the multi-stream today, so it's been very hard to keep up on both chats. So let's see if I can find your joke for the day in here. HodHod, joke. I don't see a joke in here. I don't see HodHod joke. Okay, I grew up in similar to that area. I don't live there anymore, but I grew up in around that area. All right, let's see if this works today. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. New York is no joke. Where did you visit in New York, user? Were you in the city? I'm assuming if you were visiting here, you were probably in the city. The city prices are insane. I have told my wife, she has joked. She said if we ever get rich, she wants an apartment in the city. And I've told her I can't live in the city. Like I would love like a weekend apartment in the city. But I could never spend my full time there. It is so expensive. It is just disgusting. Let's do that and see. Yeah, okay. So in the city, yeah. So you were like dead in there. She wouldn't unless I make bread with her. Guess we're on a need to know basis. I'm sorry, HodHod. It was a funny joke. That whole area, like the Upper West Side and the Central Park area, it is insane. I stayed in a hotel there about 10 years ago. When my mom was in the hospital, she was at Mount Sinai. And there was one night that we ended up staying in a hospital because it was a really bad, not in the hospital, in a hotel. And because it was just a really bad night, we needed to stay close. And it was like this little disgusting hole in the wall place. And I remember it being like $400 a night, which is like ridiculous for the quality of the hotel that it was. I grew up pretty close to that area. Yeah, and like I've been to those areas. Let's get this informant. Maybe the informant's not gonna die the way that I want her to. Oh, nice. Combat mission wise, what's the worst planet? I mean, I can do most of them on auto now, but Dathomir is probably my least favorite planet, right? I can do that on auto now, but it's just so time consuming to do the planet. And the Night Sisters just hit like trucks. DS Ray kind of solved that issue for me and has made my life a lot easier. There we go. The view, I mean, I get the right. Yeah, New York. You know what? New York is like one of those places where I feel like a lot of the hotels and hospitality, they're kind of like, you're in New York, it's high priced, just deal with it. And a lot of people do. A lot of people just go, oh, well, the Ritz-Carlton is this fancy famous hotel, so it's got to be good and I have to go there. When I travel, I look at hotels and I look at Airbnbs. And I try to find like that right price to quality point where I get the highest quality without there being a diminishing return on the quality. Tell you again. I also like try to think about like I went on this trip to the DR with a friend of mine many years ago, and he was showing me all of these places that had all of these crazy amenities, and they were like $900 a night, which is insane for DR, so very high quality. And what I was trying to say to him, I was like, dude, we're here for a bachelor party. We're here for 4 days. We're not going to use any of those amenities, right? Like, I'm fine paying for things if I'm going to use them, but we're not going to the gym. We're getting drunk. We're not going into the game room. We're going out to the beaches. Like, we don't need all of that stuff. Is there a spreadsheet for hotel ROI? Yes, that's in my premium sheets. I can see doing it. So my wife and I actually, that it's funny that you say that, because my wife and I right now we're talking about our anniversary is next month. It's our 6th anniversary. And we really want to go. There's a place in the Hudson Valley. We went to their restaurant right before we got married. They have a restaurant in the city, but there's this place that's like super high-end, high-scale called the Farms at Blue Hill. And it's like top tier kind of shit. And for us to go there, it would probably be, I think, to eat dinner there in their dining room, it would end up being like $600 per person, which is insane. But we've talked about possibly doing it this year just because, you know what, it's a once in a lifetime, like, fun, like, thing that we can say that we did and enjoyed. It's not the kind of place that we go to often. So we're gonna try, I think. Reservations don't open up until the 15th, but I think we're gonna try to do that just so we can have that experience at like a super high end kind of dining place, because we are foodies and we love eating great food. Let's see what this looks like. Actually, let me see on Discord if my TB guy, did he start? All right, we are gonna just really quickly kick ourselves out of the game and run the bot, because I forgot to run the bot this morning. Daniel, when you're going to a food place like that, you are going to a place like The Menu. You know, it's like high-end experience food. And yeah, user, I think they have 2 Michelin stars. It's the kind of place like, and we've been to places like that before. If we go on vacation, we do try to go to one fancy dinner and then the rest normal dinners, but nothing as upscale as this. When we went to Denver for our anniversary, we went to a place that was like $300 a person. I didn't like the place. I felt like it was too stuffy. When we went to South Korea for my brother's wedding, he treated us to a place, this beautiful French restaurant in Lotte Tower. That was insane. I didn't pay for that. I think that was like $500 a person. But it was just fun. It was something that you don't get to do often. But it's 100% the experience. And then you leave hungry and you go to McDonald's afterwards. Hell's Kitchen has some places that are cheap. There's a dive bar in New York. Oh man, I talk about this place all the time. They need to sponsor me. There's a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen. It's between 9th and 10th Avenue on like 47th Street. And it's called Beer Culture. And it's this rinky-dink little dive that has beer refrigerators. They only serve beer and whiskey there. They don't have anything else. I think maybe they just started serving like low-end table wine. Culture. Every single time. We love it. It's our favorite. I love dirty, disgusting bar food. But I also like upscale food sometimes too. All right, let's see what this looks like. We have 338. Murricane, I just saw that your message was there. Let's see what we need to finish. We do need to finish this Vandor operation. We love regular food, but we do like limited like Michelin stuff. There was a place when we went to South Korea, because Michelin doesn't mean expensive. It usually does. But there was a dumpling place that we just happened to fall upon when we went to South Korea. It was like a hole in the wall place that had 1 Michelin star, and it was cafeteria style. You went in, you ordered your dumplings, you ate, you left. I think I paid, for 4 of us, we paid like $25 total. And it was just delicious. My wife is pretty good at finding that kind of stuff. But she also loves her celebrity chefs. And so we try to do something once a year. 730 minus 398. I think I did that math wrong. Hold on. We need 730 minus 662 is 68. Okay. My brother lives there. He fell in love. He moved there. He just got married 2 years ago, so we flew over for his wedding. I would love to go back. I really did enjoy it. We were only there for like 2 days. I would like to enjoy it more. Minus 398, so about 400 plus 13 minus 338. Oh my god, we could hit this. We just need fucking Oli Moly to come in with his platoon here. Who's her favorite chef? Oh my god. Right now, I don't know. I know in the past she like it was Gornicelli. She was a big fan of. I know she likes Alton Brown a lot because he's like very weird and does like fun stuff. We do like watching Food Truck Road Trip, which is Tyler Florence. I don't think either of us really gives a shit about Bobby Flay. You're gonna need a better hoodie. Yeah. So when we went to South Korea, the wedding was on a Saturday night. We flew in on a Wednesday. We didn't get there till Friday because it's a 16-hour. It was a 16-hour nonstop flight plus the time difference. And then we left Sunday night and got home like Monday night late because the time difference going backwards. All right. We're going to pop into Conquest real quick. Let's see what this Conquest is looking like. We're at 60 minutes. Now I finished my Conquest. I'm all done. I got my red crate. And I'm just going to hit this right off the bat. I do sim my Conquests. Every single time we do Conquest on here, people go, why aren't you just simming? I do it for the gram. I do it for the content. I do it to chat. This is my time when I can chat with you guys because I don't have to pay attention to the game at all. Tomorrow I will be simming again. That's just how it works. Let's throw the Gungans in there. Yeah, it was crazy, man, but it's my little brother, you know, and I don't get to see him often because of where he lives, so I said, screw it, and we went, and he actually planned his wedding around my school breaks. When he messaged me about the wedding, he's like, hey, I looked at your school schedule. I planned it specifically on this specific weekend when you have a 4-day weekend. And if you can't make it, I understand because I know it's the school year, but we really want you to come. So I made it work for him. And it was not enough time in the country, but I really loved it. Are we getting, since he's temporary, are we getting a Advanced Quest update? I haven't been on his account in a while. It's been about a week. I've had other people I've been doing stuff for. Maybe we'll have time because we're not going to a movie today, right? My wife is stuck at her parents until about 2. So maybe we'll check in on Vance's account too today to see what he's been up to. See if he's actually been farming things and doing things. Vance is such a funny guy. He posted on Reddit a few days ago saying like he does everything himself on his account. And everyone was like, "No, you don't. Egnards does it all for you." Oh, did he unlock BK? Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, man. I will tell you that that area, I grew up maybe like 10 minutes from where you are. Like it's strange, you know, and I've seen a lot of people when I talk to people, I go, holy shit, like you live so close. Vance, I already know Vance doesn't play Conquest at all, but we can play. Did Vance play this Conquest at all? That's always a fun game. Is um the game of did he actually do anything in Conquest? No, Adis, I don't know if he got Gold Crate last time because he kept saying Gold Crate. But then I'd go into his count and then I'd be like, no, you're not. And he'd be like, well, it's basically Gold Crate. But it was really like 3 crates off from Gold Crate. So I don't think he got Gold Crate last time. His account can get Gold Crate. Some conquests he tries. Some conquests he does literally nothing. I would not be surprised if he was still in Sector 1. Like, completely honestly. And as far as BKM, I didn't help him at all with it. I don't know if somebody else did. I don't know if somebody else did the event. I did mod his account for him. I did make sure that Paz had decent mods. What are your favorite teams for Conquest? Not feats, just 3-starring battles. And do you think Old Night Sisters and BKM Great Mothers? So this is where it gets kind of tough because I play a very, very efficient Conquest. I very rarely am doing any battles that are not productive battles. And productive battles are battles where you start a feat. If I'm stuck on a battle and my characters are low stamina and it's a really hard battle, you know, JMK and Cat is my fuck you team. It's my delete team. It's the team that just destroys things. Night Sisters, if Amplify Agony is around, is insane. Amplify Agony makes Night Sisters. I actually, last Conquest, I've said this, one of my guildmates was on vacation, and he is a Lightspeed Bundle account. He's a friend of mine. He has tons of stuff, but not a lot of mods. So most of his account, he does remodding constantly. And because he was going to be on this cruise and he didn't want to pay for internet, I offered to help him with his account during the time. Because it was the summer, I didn't have a lot going on. You know, I was at home. I really just wanted to do his TB for him and his raid for him so the guild wouldn't fall behind. But I ended up doing his Conquest as well, because I figured, you know what, whatever, I'm here. I got 5 battles into doing Night Sisters and just winning every battle before I realized that not a single one of his Night Sisters had any mods on them. That's how good Night Sisters can be when there's Amplify Agony, is that you can get 5 battles in with no mods on and win every single battle. Leia is really great. Leia has been... So let me show you what my strategy has been for the next Conquest, if any of you are interested, because everybody has to use tons of Omega and the new Bad Batch here. And I came up with this system where in Sector 1, I was doing Bad Batch battles. in the beginning, and I'd let them get stamina. And then in Sector 2, I was doing Bad Batch battles because you needed Omega and Batcher to survive. But then in Sector 3, my Bad Batch was so destroyed that I was throwing... no, maybe it was Sector 4. It must be Sector 4 that Crosshair is alive or needs to survive. I was throwing Crosshair in with Leia and Captain Rex. And just like, you'd get those wins super, super, super easily without having to burn the stamina on the rest of your teams. The last account, 0 mod. That's disgusting. That hurts my soul so badly. It really does. But this guy in my guild, that's what his account looks like too. Like, it was a 50-50 shot where... Actually, Night Sisters won't work right now because there's no Amplify Agony. There was a 50-50 shot on this guy's account where at least 2 characters would be missing mods. And it was fine for him because he would just remod. He had hot utils. He would remod for everything. And it was hard for me because I didn't want to mess with his mods at all, but hey, you know what? I got him a red crate. And half of his teams didn't have mods on them, so, you know, it works. Oh my god. Did they sell all of the counts, Warlock, or all of the mods because they quit the game and didn't want to come back, and then they came back and they were like, oh crap? Because that's just, oh, that hurts. Because you can't sell mods that are on characters. I would be curious how far an account could go with no mods at all. That would be an interesting experiment, but I just do not have the time to do that experiment. You wouldn't be able to do a lot of the journeys. He just lets the mod energy sit there, is what he does. Yeah, you can't do that only getting top tier mods. This is... User, I was explaining this to you yesterday. I've explained this to other people in the past. When it comes to mod, and Vance's account is a really good case study for this, because the filters I use on Vance's account are totally different than the filters I use on my account. On my account, my filters are a little bit stringent. I don't want anything below, like, if it doesn't have at least 10 speed on it, I'm throwing it away. Above 10 speed, I'm looking at it to see if it's worth it for me. But if you have no mods, bad mods are better than no mods. And you can run this downline, right? Like last week, I got really lucky and I got like 3 super good mods on mod rolls. And I would give 1 to Lord Vader. And now I could take Lord Vader's mod off. And I could put that mod onto Third Sister. And I could take Third Sister's mod off. And I could put that onto Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. And then I could take Dark Trooper's mod off, right? And I could go all the way down. And that one mod was 12 mod upgrades throughout my entire account. And I now have, like, Ewoks. They don't have the greatest mods, but I was going all the way down to my Ewoks. So they were getting some pretty semi-decent mods out of it. And I don't even use the team. But it was either that happens or I sell the mod. You have to always work a downline. You know, you guys have seen my filters before. I actually want to make my filters more stringent for myself. But, like, I have a whole system where, you know, things that get sold, things that don't get sold, so that I can waste less time looking at mods that suck. Oh, I wish. I wish I had the resource to buy mod materials. Half of my crystals right now, like that's saving for big things. I think I am gonna wail on Jude Law next week. Attic, you were here. You were here. You heard me say this. The only reason we are doing this manually right now is because this is my time that I get to catch up with you guys, that I get to talk and chat, right? I don't have to actually look at the game very much. So I get to look at this screen over here, which is why it looks like I'm not looking at you guys over here. This is the fun part of brunch for me. I get to chat and hang out. Tomorrow, it'll be all Sims. So the nice thing about my filters too are you can look at them and say, you know what? I don't want to use this particular filter. You know what? I don't want to do this particular thing. You know what? I want to make this just slightly less stringent. They are very moldable. When I first started using my filters, it was bringing my mods down to like 375. And then I could go a couple of days without having to remod. But now they're keeping me at like 450 because I don't need the mods as much. So I think I need to update my filters to be more stringent and only get like super, super hyper specific things. Just remember with Leviathan, I'm telling you, too many people make the mistake of bringing it to 7-star right away. Only bring it to 7-star right away if it'll fundamentally increase your crystal income in a way that it makes sense to. A lot of the time, it's not worth it to bring a capital ship to 7 right away. A lot of the time. Not all the time. A lot of the time. It's super important. That is the mistake that a lot of players make, is spending their resources in a way that is not smart for them. I wish. Yeah, I need more great mods too. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. I know a lot of people have been talking about like secondaries on mods recently, and they throw away mods that have like flat stats but great speed, and they're like, this mod sucks. If you get a mod that has great secondary speed and a great primary, but the rest of the secondaries suck, it's still a good mod. And it will work well for the majority of players. Right? Like this. Yes, I agree with Phil that having great offense secondary like works wonders, and it gives that team the extra niche ability to do awesome. But there's this diminishing return that people don't understand. When we talk about soft counters and hard counters, those hard counters are almost always going to win against the counter team. Having 2% more offense is not helping you. It's not doing anything. If you are playing in the gauntlet of GAC, there is definitely a case for being super, super, super hyper specific. But most players would be better served with average to above average mods and slowly building perfect mods into that. I've been discussing philosophy with ChatGPT. I think my new buzzword for the next couple months is going to be diminishing returns. It used to be ROI. I think it's going to be diminishing returns from now on. Tag Oleander. Holy moly, we gotta get this dude. And suddenly everybody goes quiet. There's always a diminishing return. Any type of game like this has a diminishing return somewhere caked in. Diminishing ROI. Well, that's the story of the game. Let's do some hundreds today, because I'm in a chatty mood. Now, I will say, Attic, you asked a really great question before that I didn't ignore. I just kind of forgot because we were talking about other things. You had asked how I would change the era system. I actually like the era system. And I've said this before. I've said this in the past, and it's a criticism that a lot of people are making recently, but I actually like it. When I was in the mid game and when the game was in a different place, every account felt different. I could go into GAC and maybe I had, I don't know, Ray, but my enemy had SLKR. Or I had CLS, but my enemy had Night Sisters. And I feel like as the game has advanced and as it's gotten easier to do things, especially at the top end, all accounts feel the same. I'm fighting mirror accounts constantly. I kind of like the speed up now, where it's very hard to get everything. And where players do need to decide, do I want this or do I want that? Because then when I go into a battle, I might be playing somebody that has pirates, or I might be playing somebody that did prioritize Jedi Master Mace Windu, or I might be playing against somebody that did get the Dark Clones. And I like that there's starting to be that disparity again, because it makes the game a little bit more interesting. I would like to see... I really would like to see CG distance Conquest units from the era system. When they originally sold the era system to us, they told us that Conquest units might exist inside the era system, but that they might, you know, but like most of the time they wouldn't. And we haven't had that yet. We had Dark Ray. That's it. Everything else has existed within the era system. I want to see Conquest units exist outside of it, because I want to see... I love when they build or they pick up an old team. A team that's not being used. You know, like, I don't know any high-end Ewoks, but like, give me an Ewok Conquest lifter that makes that team interesting again. Give me a Tusken's lifter that just makes that team interesting again. I think that is the only thing that has really made the era system boring, is that they have added everything is involved with it, even when they said that it wouldn't always be involved with it. Caracol, man, listen, I'm a hot sauce guru. You cannot hit me with hot sauce. You want hot sauce? Fine. This is the hottest sauce I have in my fridge right now. It's Kentucky straight bourbon hot sauce with Reaper. I don't particularly think it is the hottest thing in the world. I would like, this is nothing. I love hot sauce, dude. Like, that's not... We did the one chip challenge on stream. What was it, like 6 months ago? And my wife actually woke up early. My wife is not a morning person. She was like, I want to wake up to see you scream and cry from this stupid one chip challenge thing. And she left disappointed. She was like, oh my God. Like, I was sitting here, I did a roster review after eating that chip. And it hurt a little bit, but I love hot sauce. When we went to, where did we go? We went to Cape May. We went to a hot sauce place. We got this from like one of those hot sauce vendors. And I also got like Reaper jerky. Last night I made pork belly and I put it in 2x spicy ramen. When we go to our favorite ramen place, there's this, it's a ramen chain that just started coming out around here. We had it in Denver. And it's called Jinya. And when I go in there, it's very funny. I've said this before. I go in and they'll ask me how I want the ramen, and it goes 1 to 10. And I will always say to them, I want a 10. Give me the spicy ramen at a 10. Hey, carrot call, dude. I'll take it, man. And then they look at me and they go, like, I can see the wheels turning in their head when I ask for the 10. And I kind of go, yes. And I'll say to them, I go, yes, I'm white. Yes, I can handle it. If you can make it an 11, please do that. And then they'll look at my wife, and my wife literally has to say, yes, he will finish this ramen. Don't worry about it. When I go into places, I will tell them, please defeat me. If I stop eating your food, I am happy. I crave that. I want my food to taste good. Right? So I don't like the bomb hot sauce is disgustingly hot, but it tastes like shit. I crave things that make me cry as long as they taste good. Have I done the gummy bear challenge? I did not. I think I've seen it. When I went into the hot sauce place, I'm pretty sure I saw that gummy bear that you're talking about. So Mustang, I don't remember if I told this story before, but there was an Indian food place near our old apartment, and we ordered food from there often. And I always get the vindaloo. And I would say, please give me family, family spicy. And I would always they deliver the food and it would be fine. Like, it would taste good. It'd be a little bit hot, but nothing too crazy. There was one day where I got really drunk, and in the DoorDash notes, I said, please defeat me. Like, make this hurt, make me cry. You can't, handle this. And they sent me the spiciest fucking vindaloo I've ever had. It hurt for 3 days. And I'm not gonna make that mistake again, is basically what that is. Scribbles, what's up, my man? How's it going? I've done hot chip. I've done the one chip. I didn't know if there was a Dorito. I can be defeated. There are things too hot for me, but I crave trying them. Like Buffalo Wild Wings has their blazing sauce. That blazing sauce is disgustingly hot, but it also tastes like shit. So I don't like it because it's not good. But their wild sauce actually does taste good. So if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'll get that. Well, that's the whole thing. That's why when I go to like Thai places or Indian places, I ask. I'm like, make it family spicy. Like, I know I'm white. I know I am the whitest fucking kid that you know. But I promise you I will eat it. M3, I have not had my vitamin D, and that's because CVS apparently closed early last night, and I ran out. So after brunch today, I have to actually go to CVS to get more. So now that hot sauce is hitting my stomach, and that is annoying because I have not eaten anything this morning, so it's like just acid in my stomach. But hot-wise, it was not bad. Oh, dude, Scribe. My old roommate, when I lived with one of my best friends, we had this dumb idea one night to put the bomb in the water we were cooking pasta in to infuse our spaghetti with hot sauce. And we basically just fucking maced ourselves. After like 5 minutes of this water boiling, we're sitting there going like this. What the fuck is wrong? And we realized that we basically just maced ourselves with it, and it was really funny. It was awful. CVS is a pharmacy slash like bodega kind of store. It stands for, believe it or not, I think it's like cotton balls, Vaseline, and stuff, or something like that. But it's basically where your pharmacy is going to be. It's either that or Walgreens. When I used to host parties, I used to do nachos roulette. We would make, you know, those scoops nachos, and I'd put different things in each scoop. So in some of them you'd put the bomb, in some of them you put like gummy bears, in some of them you'd put like regular nachos, and then you'd cover them with cheese and bake them. Oh, the Frank's is not bad, even for my eyes. Oh my god, I put Frank's on everything. Frank's just tastes fucking good. Frank's is just delicious. My 3 core hot sauces for just like normal everyday are Cholula, Sriracha, and Frank's. But then I have a whole drawer, like whole counter dresser thing of like 30 different really hot sauces. And then I've said for Attic or for anyone in our area, there is a chicken wing place near my in-laws' house, near like Yorktown, New York. And it's called Rooster's Chicken and Brews. It's this little dive bar, this tiny little dive bar that I make my wife take me to anytime we go to her parents' house. And they have the hottest wings. Oh, cool. Look at that. I don't need it. They have the hottest wings I've ever had, and they are delicious. I love them. I crave them. I am a huge, huge fan. In fact, I might ask her to bring me some home since she's at her parents' now. The wings aren't going to travel well for an hour. Am I the Cholula on eggs kind of person? I prefer Frank's on eggs. Not Cholula, Sriracha. I prefer eggs. I prefer Frank's on my eggs if I'm gonna have anything. I also like to mix Frank's in with the burger meat when you're making burgers. A good chimichurri on a steak is amazing. It's not spicy, but it's got like a really nice lightness to it. We used to make in one of our cookbooks. We have a there was like a chimichurri that you do 24 hours ahead of time. It was like Cuban style, and it was really really good. 668. Let's see. Has he been on? Oh, good. He got it in. Excellent. Let's see how we're doing before we get into reviews for today. How are we doing? 730 minus 668, 62 plus 730 minus 482 is 310. Let's just say plus 10. So we need about 320 total. We're at 290, which means we're at a minus 30. Minus 30 is not bad at all. That it's going to cut close, but we might hit that 44 today. I wish I published a cookbook. Oh. You would marinate it ahead of time, and then you would give it a nice char. There's two ways to cook a steak. You could cook it right on the stove fully, but I like to do a char and then throw it in the oven. You get a more even cook that way. But I am picky about my steaks, and well, 730 is the top. 730 is the minus, so we could see where we're at. What did I study? So, all right, before we take our very quick we'll pop in. Before we take our very, very quick pre-reviews break, when I went to college, I had a very interesting time in college. I went upstate. I actually went to Oswego, and I did that for a year. I just did my gen eds up in Oswego, and then I came back to where I live, where I grew up, because I wasn't really liking college, and I knew like I wanted to teach martial arts. I had just got into the martial arts about a year prior, and I was just very adamant about it. So I went local so that I can continue training. And I ended up going to a few different places. I ended up doing 4 years in college, but because I jumped around a lot, I kept ending up having to redo certain courses. So I did some stuff for physical education. I did some stuff for personal training, and then like sports medicine. But I ended up after 4 years deciding, you know what, I'm going to just take my associate's degree and run. So I have my associates, which is why I'm a 1-to-1 in schools, which you only need 60 college credits for. So I do that, and then I own my dojo. So I don't know. School wasn't for me. It's hard. It's very, very, very hard for me to sit in a classroom and learn. I am somebody that needs to like just do, and that's just more my speed. Yeah, I went to a Oswego. It was fun. It was interesting, but it just wasn't for me. With that said, it is review time. And before we do our reviews, I do need to take a quick break to fill up my coffee cup so that I'm not like sitting here talking constantly without any lubrication. So we will be right back. All right, there we go. We are here. We are back. We are ready to go. Let's see what we got in terms of reviews today. As we know, we do have to play our roster review intro. It is a fan favorite. Everybody seems to enjoy it. I enjoy it. It is a Moonborn original. What do I teach? I teach a blended style, but it is primarily Shotokan karate, so a little bit traditional from the Japanese side. But now it is review time. So let us pop in. Where is it?
Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a roster reviews. Talking to me that what pack sex should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
That is a favorite. Let's get into it, right? Let's do it. We got some reviews. Where is Discord? Discord is... I want to make sure it's not in my DMs. Make sure it is over in our roster review area. And pop Discord on. Our first one up now. I know the name is in Cyrillic, which I don't know how to read, but I'm almost positive that either it says Dmitri or that this person is, oh, actually their account name is Dmitri. So we're going to just go with Dmitri. And if I say it wrong, and if I'm incorrect about this person's name, I apologize. But again, I don't read Cyrillic. So, you know, sue me. Thank you for the review. Oh, let's get the numbers, right? It's let's say 139. Got to get those timestamps. We are getting better at those timestamps. 139.00. Top 20 of the Fleet Arena, all 7-star executors. Rebel Roundup, we see him. Rebel Roundup, Forest Moon. Okay, so probably no Jabba. Places of Power, Military Might. We look okay, except that we know that I don't like this here, right? The Duel of the Fates should be higher, most likely. Prettier Patrol, haven't really done anything with yet. I'm finishing up the raid farm, the Torkin Scorch team to R9, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful team, especially for mid-game guilds. You should be jumping on that, NJML, and then going into Balin, which is a passion farm. And we love passion farms because that's what keeps us excited about the game. So if you are someone, I've said this to somebody a few days ago, if you are somebody that takes my advice and you see my advice and you go, oh, this is a great thing, but I want to add this character in. The nice thing is I am not holding you to anything. Nobody listens to my advice anyway, right? Half of the time we got Kai, who loves to pay me for roster reviews and then just not follow my advice and then tell me that he's not following my advice. And then I go, why? But you can always slot your own characters in as you want to. That's the kind of neat thing about this stuff. You do what you want. I'm just telling you how I would do it. Are you dead set on continuing your current farms? I guess so. Okay. You know. I don't. Yeah, I know that a lot of people back in the day, they're like, I'm not requesting a roster review until I have Jabba because I know you're just going to tell me to get Jabba. Are you dead set on continuing? Yes. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? Not high. I like all farms, especially when they're passion farms. Almost all PG characters are at 180 with very little exceptions. Thank you again, my brother. I'm eager to see my review. Now, again, this is the kind of review that's really tough to do because if you are not someone that wants to be efficient and you want to do proving passion farms, I'm not in your brain. I don't know what you're passionate about. So these are the reviews that become the hardest. So just we're gonna take that with a grain of salt. Now, I'm going to say, based on what we're seeing here, that we are probably looking at somebody that is. We're probably looking at somebody that's like 6 to 7 million. Adis, as much as Smugglers Run 3 may be a high priority event, it's also incredibly expensive. So I don't know if it's going to fall into that too quickly unless R9 materials become even more prominent within the game. I'm going to say 6 to 7 million. I just closed it out by accident. Let us pull them back up, and 5 million. All right. Let's see what we got here. 5 million account, raid history. We're doing 1.5 right now, but I want to see how we're doing. So we're doing the Tarkin is already at R9. Scorch is at 4, and it's coming up. Raid, they're doing about a 122. All right, so Tarkin Scorch is all you need. After that, we don't even want to give a shit about the raid anymore, because you are already at a point where you're going to be overperforming them. We have Supreme Little Kylo Ren and C right now. What about our ships? Gear trackers. We do have Executor, right? Yes. We do not have Profundity. Leviathan's a little bit off as well. Jabba's surprisingly far off. JML not so much. We have Jedi Knight Luke, but he's not up high yet, which means Jabba will get a little bit faster here. What about our... I think you said you have Cal. We don't have Bo-Katan. We want Balin because that just becomes a passion farm. I think you mentioned something. Okay. So again, I can only tell you what I would do. I can't make up for passion farms. I don't think Jedi Master Mace Windu is an interesting farm for you at all. You're going to be heavily overperforming your guild already with the raid, and it doesn't generally make sense to heavily overperform your guild in the raid. I think that there are smarter options for you, and you would be better served by just doing Tarkin Scorch and leaving the rest of that stuff where it is, especially if Balin is a passion farm for you and is something that you really want to do. Though Balin will become permanently available in the journey guide the next time it comes around, so it doesn't become like a super time gated character in order to get or to purchase. Pop that here. Raid farm, JML. JML, I like going for JML. That is completely fine. I do want to see something here. Let's check out these guys. Veers, Stark, Piet. Stark, which one is this? You might need this Zeta on Stark, but if you were to get that Zeta on Stark and you brought like Range Trooper and even Snow Trooper, and I say those two because you don't need Zetas and because they're non-Kyrotech characters. If you were to bring them to G12, you could almost definitely get Forest Moon to CT3 without much effort at all. Now, on with Duel of the Fates, you're only 5 million. So I'm not mad about you not having these guys, to be completely honest. I think I would try to get them to R5 at where you are game-wise to build up materials. That would be a smart decision for you as a shorter-term, quicker project while you're still working on JML. But I think that you exist in that ecosphere where you should be doing JML, Jabba, Profundity, Leia, right? Like, it's just a really nice place to be. I like when I know what I need to do. I like when the plan ahead of me is very easy to talk about. Um, and it's very easy to focus on. And that's kind of the part of the game that you're in right now, where your Jedi Master is relatively done. Relatively, right? You do have to get the relic levels up. And then I would probably work on Profundity and Jabba in tandem. Jabba in tandem because you're fairly far off. So you're going to have to do like some shards farming for Kursatan, who unfortunately is a relic farm, for Aura Singh, who unfortunately is a Cantina farm as well. But while you're working on that, you can also be working on Profundity, focusing on 5 battles a day on Dash. Mon Mothma will obviously be done at that point. But I think that is kind of where you should go. Balin, fine. If it's a passion project after JML, we talk about the 3 pillars, or the I don't know what to call it. The way that I handle farming is you have your primary farm, your secondary farm, and your tertiary farm, right? And you can be primary farming Balin while you're secondary farming Profundity, while you're tertiary farming, Jabba the Hutt, and kind of building a downline. But I would strongly, strongly, strongly reconsider Jedi Master Mace Windu. He's just not going to do what you need him to do for you. And I think with the timeline of getting this stuff, you'll be like 6 months down the road. And at that point, you should strongly consider Leia. But I don't want to give you advice past those 6 months, because the game, especially as we near the end of an era right now, could be fundamentally so much different than where it was. Catching up on chat. I've been trying to do the Tarkin clone split R3, but can't make it work. It is a mod issue. Con Warlock, I think Fat Phil actually did release a video of doing it at the R3 tier, but it does require very insane modding. The reality is that the R9 modifier gives 100% TM with Order 66. And that is a huge part of how this works, and why the 3-man works. So the 2-man does work lower, but it does very strongly need like the most intense mods. And I would never, ever, ever, ever recommend Fat Phil for anything other than the worst, other than the worst takes in the game. But in this case, he does have a video that I think pinned in my guild Discord. I think he made the video specifically because I asked him for it, specifically for my guild. So I would recommend looking at that. It can do higher than the 300k tier, but it's going to struggle at much higher tiers because it needs those modifiers. It's harder to give you much more information, Dmitri, just because, again, you want a lot of passion farms. So that's just what I would do. And hopefully it does help you. Going back to Discord, we're going to move on to the next one. Sorry, I'm jumping around sources a lot today since my multi-stream is being a pain in my ass. Let's say 152 and stall for a little bit while we wait for that 152 to hit. Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a shit. Roster reviews. Talking to Meathead, which packs he should sell to you. Ooh, ooh. Do a live stream version of that. All right, we are at 152, so we can move on to this next one. Nox. Top 20 of your fleet, Executor, Negotiator, 1 Malevolence. I'm there with Tarkin. So an earlier account. Rebel, not 4 million yet. All right. Rebel roundup, CT1, CT3, Places of Power, Mythic, Military Might, CT2, good. Ground War, Mythic, Secrets and Shadows, Mythic, Fanatical Devotion, not available. Duel of the Fates, R7. I love that you are below 4 million and you have Duel of the Fates at R7. Again, I love R9 on those characters, but at your level, you don't really need them at R9 yet. The only minor comment on it is that the shit bleep sound is a little too long. We will complain to Moonborn. We will tell him that he fucked up. I do have a complaint department, by the way. Hold on. Let's see if we can find the Egnards complaint department while we're looking for this. Forms. A long time ago, we made an Egnards complaint department. So you are welcome to complain. Let's find it. Here, send this to you. Shorten the link, copy. All right, so if you want to complain, that is the Egnards complaint department. We'll throw it on Twitch as well. What are you currently? I'm close to finishing Pretty Pals, then either going for GM, Balin, or Executor. Also consider farming the Rebens at some point. I don't really know when, though. Are you dead set on continuing? Could postpone GM if there's better option. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? Not that high. I like farming teams that perform in GAC over TW and TB. Okay. Here's the thing. Again, in this instance, we're not talking about passion farms, but we are talking about focusing one thing over the other thing. And it's a short-sighted idea. Because yes, we want to focus on things that... hey, Vance, we want to focus on things that are going to help us get more crystals, obviously, right? But we're leaving a lot on the table right now in terms of resources. So basically, what we want to do is we want to build out an environment where you are getting as many free resources as you can per month, so that when you focus on GAC teams, you will be able to more quickly hop on those things, right? And that's the big important thing that a lot of people kind of fail to think about, is you are at a point in the game where you're still talking about like resource acquisition. You have to build out your resource acquisition, right? So kind of think of it like this. I used to play a lot of RTS games, real-time strategy. And every game would start the same. You would get like your peon, and your peon would farm gold, and you needed to get like 5 peons so your gold would be maximized. And then you would build like a farm so that you could start building a barracks, so you could start building footmen to send them in, so that you could start creeping, so that you could get the things for whatever. Now, if you kept your one peon and said, no, I don't want to build more peons because they take 70 gold and it'll be a waste. So you have your one guy going back and forth getting gold so that you can build a barracks to get your footmen faster. You're in reality getting your footmen slower, right? Because you're getting the gold much slower. So you feel like you're getting your footmen faster because you're not building a lot before that. And I know I said peon and footmen, so I'm mixing up orcs and humans. But so it feels like you're going faster, but you're actually going slower because you're not getting that gold acquisition. And that's a problem, right? That's the first part of the game, is your resource acquisition. So you have to maximize that first so that you can build everything out faster later. And your early game is going to look very much the same no matter what. So every time you play the game, you're always going to start pretty similar because you want to succeed, right? And now there are going to be players that are able to build out faster than you, and they've min-maxed things, right? But that's the purpose. That's the goal. You are in a pre-resource acquisition. So if we were to time this out to an RTS, and you're right, I am talking about Warcraft 3, guys. My Warcraft 3 was my high school years. I played it so much. I love that game to death, and I'm still mad that the reimagining sucked. because I was looking forward to it. But if we were to talk about this as an RTS, you have just loaded into the game and you have just built maybe 2 extra peons and a farm, and you're wondering what to do next. And I'm telling you, build 2 more peons so that you can get your army out faster. But you are saying, hey, I want to just get my army out faster. And you're going to end up getting what we used to call romper stomped, right? That is the problem. We have to focus on the one thing first before we move into the other thing. Now, usually when we talk about people doing roster reviews here, I've seen people that spend tons of money before. We have those people. But generally, we're talking about people that are either light spenders or free to play, or maybe they spend like $30 to $50 a month. If you're in that situation, you want all of your money spent to go towards that, because then it starts to pay dividends for you. If you have a lot of resources and you are someone that does spend heavily, it's not that you can skip resource acquisition, but you have more ability to say, you know what, I want to do this other thing first because I'm unaffected by the fact that I'm not getting my peons out, right? I'm hitting greed is good 5,000 and getting some extra gold so I can get my footmen out faster. And I don't think that that's you. So I think the best bet for you is to really start thinking about some of these assault battles, right? Like places of power at CT1, really getting ground war and places of power to at least CT1 would be very strong contender for you in order to be able to maximize your Zeta income and to be able to maximize your finishers income. And that is super important. So we're going to take a look at the account and we're going to see what it looks like. You said you're under 4 million. I'm going to say like 2.5 million, honestly. But let's check it out, right? We're here. We have Nox. Oh, I have to change the source first. Let's do that. Pop this over. We're on Nox's account. Change the source. Oh, no. We got to go here. Profile. I said 2.5. They are 2.6. All right. So that's pretty good. 2.6. You are doing Executrix, which is actually kind of nice if you're getting in the top 20 with Executrix. That is not bad at all, because you're getting your 100 a day, which is good. No GLs yet. I want to see places of power. What do my Sith look like? I see you bought the cup bundle. You know, like for example, if you with Treya, Savage, Darth Vader, if you took Nihilist to G12 and Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine to G12, who's already at 7 stars, and you did Papa Palp lead, you could do places of power at CT1. And that's extra Zetas every month, right? You'll need the Palpatine Zetas, but that'll pay dividends over time. Like just so many dividends. Let's see, Ground War. Ground War might take us a little bit more time to be able to do. Because these are your only 2. I mean, maybe if you had Revan and you threw like Revan with these 2 and Mace Windu and like GMY, it might work. I don't have too much experience with that. Peridia Patrol is something that I love. I think you're over prioritizing it too early with getting it. Now, I mean, with where you're at with these guys being like relict already and close, I would probably prioritize getting them to the R5 tier just because you've already invested so much in it and it will be a short-term thing. But after that, I really think that you should go into some resource acquisition projects. Executor would be a much smarter play for you than going for GM. And the reality is that's going to be a great GAC project as well, right? You want to do GAC, you need to have a major GAC fleet. Executor becomes the nice one to get for most people. I would start working on punishing one now if you have not started, because yeah, you haven't even unlocked it. But I would start trying to do 5 battles a day on that, because that's a 6-month farm if you're not refreshing it. If you really, really want to go into... Oh, we're far on that. That's rough. Let's check out these guys. We don't have Hermit Yoda. We have Wampa done. What about Rebel Officer Leia? Okay. Currently listening. What I would say is it is time for you, like, to start thinking about Jedi Knight Luke over Balin. Rebel Officer Leia, we don't really want to use Get 2 on unless we have to. So anytime the bounty event comes around that has Rebel Officer Leia, always prioritize Rebel Officer Leia shards so that we can use as little Get 2 as possible to do this last minute. Definitely make sure you're using all of your Get 1 on Hermit Yoda, and I believe he's now available in the guild activity store as well. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I would definitely start doing that as well if he's available there now. I can't remember if they put him there with the era system changeover, but you're going to want to start working on Jedi Knight Luke so that you can get into this ecosystem of Jedi Master Luke and Jabba. And it's going to do so much for your account. One, it's going to give you Ground War at CT3. It's going to give you Military Might at CT3. It's going to give you Rebel Roundup at CT3. It's going to give you Smuggler's Run at CT2. Jabba is a powerhouse in GAC. He's fallen off on defense lately, but he's still a powerhouse. And I'm going to say that anytime people criticize Jedi Master Luke in GAC, the one thing they are forgetting is that they're talking about the game from a Kyber perspective, and we have to stop doing that. We're not talking about a Kyber account. Any GL is a good GL at 2.5 million. Any. And you're also going to want to start thinking about Proving Grounds when you get to 4 million, and SLKR, which we didn't talk about, and Jedi Master Luke, and Jabba, they are really solid options for completing a lot of the Proving Grounds. So it's just something that makes a lot of sense instead of Balin, right? I know you're thinking like, oh, GM is so great for GAC and Balin is so awesome, but at your level of GAC, you don't need those things, and they're not providing resources for you. Can you do them? Sure. But if it's not providing value to you overall, it's a waste of your time right now. And that's kind of where I see, where you're at. And I would just be really, really, really careful of that. So that is yours, right? That's what I would recommend there. We're going to move on. I think HodHod, you still here? HodHod always bounces in and out. Hop on the HodHods. My other TB officer just messaged me. Let's see what he says. So, I have a vocal lesson. I wouldn't have booked it normally, but it's just something I'm auditioning for. Oh, cute. Maybe they have it soon. I got you, boo. Brunch will be done by then. Be all good. You can see how I talk to my other TB officers. All right. Same in life. Savings versus spending balance. Yeah, exactly. And then the pre-liquidity stage. That's... I'm going to start using shit like IPO in reviews. You are in the IPO phase of your account. And now we need to get into the blue chip phase. Oh my God. That would be a vibe. Let's see, HodHod, where are we at now on this account? Is this your regular account or is this your alt? We are at 20700. Let's see what HodHod's got. Top 50 are now executors only. 2 people of Leviathan still in contact with like the top 15. Looking like some people are closing in on Leviathans, though so far I only know me and another person going for Leviathan. Okay. Most of these are CT3. Fanatic Devotion is only CT2, but that's fine. CT1's the important one, and this is one of the least important of them. Duel of the Fates, Tier 1 Sim, I hate you. Why do you have Peridia Patrol at Relic 5, but Duel of the Fates only at Tier 1? Like, what the fuck is going on with you, HodHod? I know your name on Discord is Legal Son of Egnards, but, like, I want to disown you at this point. Like, holy shit, man. Like, that's so backwards. You listen on every stream. You know me. You know what you should be doing. Jabba is done. Raid farm is done. Goal was 1.2. I can get 1.8. Bane is relic 5. You wrote... I hope you wrote that wrong, man. I really hope you wrote that wrong. We're going to find out. I'm like a month away. Bane is relic 5. Malgus is relic 6. Eventually relic 7. Bane is one character that I think deserves at least relic 7. At least. Just because he ramps heavily off of mastery. If he's doing what you need him to do for you right now, you don't need to bring him to relic 7 right away, but I do think Bane deserves at least relic 7. Like a month away from Leviathan. After that, I have a couple options. I could get Profundity. All ships except Biston, U-Wing are at 7. He is at 6. Alternatively, I could get Leia, since it's not that far either, or I could get Gas. Not very sure. Game's my oyster at this point. You are in a pretty good ROI point at this point, so you could do pretty well. You could get that signal data calendar, 3,000 crystals. I know how it feels, though. Signal data is my bitch, too. Are you dead set on continuing? I'm at the tail end of Leviathan. I'm not opposed to other farming ideas outside of that. You know me. I know you. I like to balance it all out. I love farming shit for the shits and giggles, just to have fun. But I also recognize that I have fun when I'm excelling. Thereby, I have fun when my roster is as efficiently as possible. Are there any favorite characters? No, if you remember, Swoga got me into Star Wars. I personally don't really have any specific favorite characters. Kind of already got my favorite with it, which is DS Ray. Shards for any important proving grounds. Only got one left. It's Luthen and Queenie, and they're both like 3 PGs away. Okay, so if we were to use finance terms here, your account has already had its IPO. You are in your post-IPO phase. Your stock has already split a couple of times. You are Netflix circa 2012, right? What that basically means to me is you are in a position where, yes, there are more and less efficient routes, but it's okay to take detours now because the majority of your resource acquisition is accounted for. The majority of it. It's not that there's no wrong answers. It's that your account is building resources on its own at this point. And that's going to allow you to make more decisions. I know you're going to get upset with me for not remembering your account specifically, even though I do like 5 reviews a week and it's impossible for me to remember every account. But I'm going to say that you're somewhere around 10 to 11 million. Just check it out. Okay, so earlier than that, right? Which is neat. If I value your account higher than it is, that means a lot. That's like, oh wow, he saw that I have some efficiency here and I must be higher than that. Let's just change it so you guys can actually see that as well. Okay, you can. Let's see. 8.2, about a month off here. Jabba, J Mouse, Stream Leader, only 3 GL, which is kind of crazy. You're working your way to Kyber. I do want to see your raid. You're doing about 1.8, right? Your guild, you said it's 1.2. Yeah, man. At your level, dude, like... I can't remember. Are you attached to this guild in any way? I'm known for breaking up guilds. Apparently apparently a guild in my alliance broke up recently because of my leave your guild video, and I YOLO that, but oh, you're the leader. You're the leader. Okay. All right. Well, your guild, start getting rid of some of this. I'm sorry, guys, but like, start slowly replacing some of your weeds, because you guys could be doing better, a lot better. Profundity is not far. Okay, about a month. Leia, right? What about Bo? You max out Zepho. You do it too. Okay. Um, no Grand Inquisitor yet, so you're not on that train yet. Let's see, what are we missing? Profundity, Radis. What are we missing on Leia? Rex, Lobot, Nessa. Okay, I do want to check your Duel of the Fates to see if you reversed that. You did not, man. That kills me. This kills me. You really do need to rectify this. Oh wait, no, this is Order 66. My bad. Hold on, let's see. That's just me being dumb. Okay. You said R7 tier? Oh no, R5 tier. Man, you know, at 8 million, I don't think you have to bring these guys to R9. But I would really strongly bring them to R7 as a minimum. I do think R9, it's just so smart. Like, I think that players that don't bring these two characters to R9 are just being dumb. Peridia Patrol I get, because it's 3 characters and there's 3 things at tier 3, the top tier. So it takes a lot longer. But the return on investment on this event is about a year. And I've been playing this game for 10 years at this point, almost 10 years. Right? Like, it is a marathon. You should be building that stuff out. I really would say, at a minimum, bring these guys to R7. But to strongly, strongly consider bringing them to R9. At that point, I think for you, I would go for Profundity before you do Leia. And you've heard me say this before. I say this a lot. The best time to farm a capital ship is when you don't need the capital ship. You'll have Leviathan. It'll be your main ship. But if you bring Profundity to 5 stars, it'll be usable. And then you just let it sit on the bench and you let it build the stars on its own. Right? You have the Jabba JML thing. Now it's time to do the Profundity Leia thing. Finish Leviathan because you're really close to it. I know you got to bring like characters to R9 and it sucks and it's hard to do. But R9 only gets easier and easier the more outlets you have for R9. I would finish this. I would do Profundity next so you can let it sit and just let it simmer. Let it marinate a little bit. And then I would go for Leia. I'd build out those big things right now. At that point, I think you're good for a while, right? But still, strongly recommend Duel of the Fates. And I would say by the time you're finished with all of that, I would strongly recommend, at a bare minimum, having your Peridia boys. I keep clicking the raid as if the raid does anything. But by the time you're done with all of that, I would strongly also recommend your Peridia boys being at least R5. But I don't think that that's an overall priority for you right now, right? With everything else going on. Now, I also think that it might be time to start talking to your guild about Inquisitors and Riva, but that's a guild decision. That's not a me decision. And where you slot that in is really up to you, depending on when you think you're going to be going for that. But the quicker that you're earning Third Sister shards, the better off you are going to be overall. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. I know. I'm excited for my Remnant token because I have one Remnant who's G12. And I'm going to use that Remnant token to get that one guy to R1 and skip all of the G12 gear. So I'm actually super pumped about doing that myself. But that's the way that I would go on your account, man. You're in that ecosystem, right? You're in that quadfecta that we need to work out. So you're in a good spot. Let's try to do at least one more. I want to get as many of these done because, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, next week I have a street fair, so there's no brunch next week. I forgot to mention that. Next week I'm working all day at the street fair, and I'm coming home, and I'm going to miss the beginning of the Broncos game, but it is what it is. But next week there won't be a brunch. Maybe we'll do a GAC thing that night. But that's just so that you're aware. So let's try to get one more in, and then we'll do painting with Egnards, or drawing with Egnards, whatever we call it. Sorry, guys. I apologize. You know, I got to make sure that my business stays afloat. My bad. Let's pop over here. We'll be at a wedding. Hopefully it's a good wedding. Hopefully they got an open bar. I hate going to weddings with cash bar. Roster reviews. Egnards is taking a break and having a shit. All right, let's see. What is Discord looking like for this one? For Heir. Okay. Just keep it in mind. Slot those things in, buddy. But that's where I would do with your guild, with your account right now. Let's try to get this one more. 9-8 Heir. 2. Oh, perfect. 2. 20. Ah, it's Henry. It's not you, is it? Is your name not Henry on Discord? Dude, just so you know, by the way, because I know you're a part of our Buy Me a Beer memberships. If you hook up your Discord to Buy Me a Beer and connect them, you will get a nice orange name. And that orange name will entitle you to this premium area for roster reviews, which is, you know, it allows for you to cut the line, so to speak. Where is it on here? It allows you to see, I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. It allows you to see all of this stuff, and it gives you those nice perks. So I would do that. It's not you. Now I'm confused. It is you. It's not you. I can't think of what to turn Cairo income into Zetas and G12. Uh-oh, what just happened? I can't think of a way to turn Cairo income into G12s and Zeta mats. Unfortunately, there's no really good answer for you, Julian. What I would tell you is that eventually that Cairo is going to catch up to you, especially if you're a newish account. I don't use GAC tokens for Chirotech. I would use it for mod materials if you're feeling good with Chirotech. That's how I use it. That's where I go with that. Oh, okay. If you need help linking it, listen, Vance figured it out. Vance figured it out, but I can help you with that later. But let's see. I've gotten first before, but don't push anymore. Sit mid-30s-ish, typically at 50 right now, 50-50, Leviathans and Executor. I don't talk to people to know if there is a Discord. What I would say is reach out. There is a video I put out in my early days. It is about a 4-minute video. It's super quick. You type in !fleet Discord with no spaces on Discord, and the video will pop up, and it explains how to contact your fleet Discord so you can find out if there is one. It is worth doing because it makes life so much easier when people know who to hit, so that they're not inadvertently hitting the wrong people at the wrong time. It looks like pretty far account. We're pretty caught up on our assault battles. Duel of the Fates R7 hurts my soul, and I know that you know that. Seers and Shadows CT1, that's the tough one. That's the annoying one. Currently working on gear for Leah, and then gear for DSCTs, Disguised Clone Troopers. Dark Souls Chrono Trigger. I don't know. I'm open to pivoting if you can show solid ROI and malleability. If something comes up that changes farming, how highly do you value efficiency? Prefer fun, but can run efficiently, see if necessary. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? Afra, just because I might, my buddy, the LSB, and he's still struggling like 6 months later. Dark Side Clone Troopers. Okay, I like mine better. Dark Souls Chrono Trigger. Shards for important characters: DS Ray, Jocasta, Ezra SM33, 148, just unlocked and relicked Queen Amidala, Bane, and Malgus in the last 2 months. How to meaningfully improve while maintaining my casual focus. So again, this goes back to exactly what I was saying to HodHod about resource acquisition, and exactly what I was saying to Nox about resource acquisition. But again, it looks like your account is in a state right now where it can afford to do fun things sometimes if it wants to. It does look like there are a few things that we do want to maybe punch up on a little bit. I'm going to say you're probably around where HodHod is, right? So like 8-9 million. 10.5. Okay. So don't get mad at me for saying that, because I would have guessed around the same 10 million as I did for HodHod, and then I was slapped in the face, and then I just kind of assumed that you were similar to him. So we'll take that as a win there. 450. This is kind of rough. How is your guild doing here? All right. So it is a casual guild, right? This is kind of like their casual space. Because you definitely could be a little bit higher. And if that's what you want, like, that's completely fine. We got to play in the level that we want to play in, obviously. Rey, Jedi Master Luke, JMK, Lord Vader. We have a lot of these. All right, good. Good. Let's check out our ships. Executor, I really would like to see you have more of these. You have Fury class. Let's see what's going on. Using that right now. I will say Bit Dynasty has a great video on this if you do want to get a little further in your fleet, with fighting against executors, using the clones as the starting line, like a clone ship and fives and Marauder. And it is a nice video. It's got a lot of great stuff in it. I would look at that. It might make your life easier on the climbs that you're currently doing if you if you push a little bit. I definitely think that there is a huge return. I understand not wanting to climb, especially if you're casually playing, because it is very time consuming. And that's why the fleets are really important, because doing something like Leviathan, it is a mostly auto battle. So I am able to meaningfully climb to the top 5 without really putting any effort in at all. And you kind of want to get to that space where you are able to climb, but you don't have to put in effort, right? That's the space that I exist in for everything. 20. Ooh. goodness, man, I would do this. I would go after that Leviathan. Honestly, I really, really, really would. Um, Leviathan is a 50-50 in fleets where 50% of the time you can hit auto right in the beginning. The other 50% of the time you have to do about 45 seconds of the battle and then you hit auto. So it's nice because I do my fleet climb like when I leave work, I check, I start one battle, and then I turn on music and I drive home. And then when I get home, the battle's obviously done, right? But it was all done on auto. I didn't have to look at it. I'm not like playing on my phone in the car. And then when I get home, before I even get into my house, I look again, and if I can climb again, I do the same exact thing before I even get into my house. And I don't even really put any effort into it. But you are fairly close to that Leviathan where I think it is a smart move to go after. And you can love Negotiator. You can still play with Negotiator. Like, Negotiator is going to be a part of GAC, and you're welcome to use the ships whenever you want. But remember, our goal here is to improve your account as much as possible so that you can do more of the fun things. And if you're getting more crystals in a low effort way, you can choose to do more fun projects overall. And that's kind of like the thing that people, I think, forget about when they worry about being too hyper specific. Leia, you're finishing gear relics for Leia. This was about a week ago, so you're probably ticket farming her right now. Let's see what's going on with Duel of the Fates, R7. Just did the G12 tier of Peridea Patrol. There was something else I want. Oh, I know what I wanted to check. Scorch Tarkin. Okay. I want to check something in game real quick. Let's see. Hey, Berm! How's it going, buddy? I need like a sound. I need Moonborn to make me a sound so that I actually hear the raids coming in. Let's check in game real quick. I want to check something with this raid. So you're doing 1.8. What are you doing 1.8 with? Probably doing 1.8. I'm assuming you're doing a 1.2 with these guys, maybe a 300k with Hondo. If we can get you, just hear me out here, man. If you're doing 1.8 right now, you are existing right here in your raid. And if we can get you these 3 boxes, right? So 3.6, 3.9, doing G12 with full clones, base tier with Jedi and pirate mix. I have a feeling we can get you to this 4.25 box. I know it's tough, but if you were to do the Tarkin Scorch to Relic 9 thing, you can get an extra 280 MK3 every single week for the next like 7 months, right? And if we talk about 7 times 5 times 280, you're talking about like 10,000 in additional currency that can be used to buy more things. And then with your guild currently doing, what are they doing? And it's such an easy run. Like, it's such a stupid easy run. They're doing 20.7 you would get them pretty close to that 20.5 and another 500 currency right there. That might be a really smart move for you. And it's super casual and it's super, super easy. Like, it is the easiest run. I agree, Volada, bro. I totally agree. That was a very good point that you made. E5, E5, 85, he, whatever. I don't know. I would strongly consider it. Tarkin Scorch R9, you're going to significantly increase your MK3 overall. No, you will need. Here's the thing about the R9 two-man team. The R9 two-man team does need specific modding, but the modding is not disgusting. I have done the modding on multiple people's accounts for them, just using what they had, and been successful. And the mods that you'll need are mods that are fine on those characters. So you could leave those mods on and not have to remod every month or every week. You'll want high offense for Tarkin with good speed, and you'll want really high health for Scorch. It's not hard, it's not difficult. It does need to be done very specifically, but it's one of the easiest, least RNG dependent runs when it's done correctly. And it will significantly increase your overall MK3 materials over the next 8 months, 7 to 8 months. I think it would be a very smart move. And you've probably seen my video on doing that. If you were to convince your guild, hey, we're lazy, right? We're casual, we're lazy. If we all do this, we can all be lazy. Your raid score will explode. MK3s are used for higher end relic material. So you could buy back the keypads. You could buy back the R8 material. You could buy back the R7 material. I think it would be a really smart move for you to do that. And I think that you should, finish Leia, obviously. Then just do Tarkin Scorch. That's it. Just Tarkin Scorch. Do you have... You do have Lord Vader, so you are going to want to maybe slow farm the other clone troopers just for Vader. But I would say finish Leia, do Tarkin Scorch, prioritize Leviathan, because it'll make climbing fleet so easy that you might start doing it again. Right? And then finish the disguised clone troopers for Vader. If you and like 2 other people do it, that's it. So if 2 other people do it, let's go over here. You're looking at about 500 extra MK3 raid tokens from Guildbox. And you are looking at 280. So you are looking at 500 plus 280, about 780 MK3 per raid cycle. There's 5 raid cycles on a month, so 3,900 for the month. So about 2,700 additional MK3 over the course of the next 7 to 8 months. And the next box over that, this 41 box, that's another 250. So if you just talk to your officers and be like, look, this would be the smartest way to go about this raid, you will pay dividends. I have the video. The video is called like officers are handling their raid prepping correctly. And if you send them that video, the explanation is all there. And it will explode you on stuff. It'll really, really fundamentally help you without having to fundamentally increase your effort in the game by very much at all. And that is always my main thing, right? Is minimal effort. Do as much as we can with minimal effort. Do you have any other questions for me? Did you? I know we talked mostly about raid, but I did kind of give you an outline of what I wanted you to do. I don't know if you heard it. And if you need the link, just message me. I mean, it's a newer video, but if you message me on Discord and you need that link, I will, I'll find it for you, because that's the kind of guy I am, and the kind of guy that finds the videos for the people. Da-da-da-da-da. Otherwise, if you feel validated, we will move into drawing with Egnards. As far as Afra, I think after Leviathan, if you want to throw in a fun farm and Afra is a favorite of yours, that would be a good time to do it while you're also farming the other clone troopers. That would be a really, really good time to do it. All right, if that is it, we are going to get into drawing with Egnards. Now, you guys have been giving me ridiculous requests lately, and I've been humoring them. But the purpose of drawing with Egnards was just to draw a Star Wars character. That was the whole goal. So we need to decide on a Star Wars character for drawing with Egnards. Your speeds. I mean, the reason that I don't generally look at people's mods is because there's nothing that I can meaningfully do. Like you don't know if you're gonna get more or less of mods, if that makes sense. You might get really lucky, you might not get really lucky. I can look at your speeds. Hold on. We pop up .gg, we throw painting with Egnards back down. I believe that this does allow me to sort by speed, sort by mod speed. Go a little bit down. I mean, you've got some good, overall good stuff. Again, Darth Bane I'd maybe take to at least R5. I know he said R7 before, but you have a lot going on. Your speeds aren't bad. It's just a matter of getting more. Health, health, health. I would definitely make this a health triangle, though. You don't really need critical damage there. It's a matter of doing mod filters. It's a matter of getting lucky. It's a matter of just prioritizing that and doing mod refreshes. And mod refreshes, a lot of that comes from your fleet crystal income, which is why the fleet crystals are important. But that's like a really big deal. But if you're playing more casually, you don't have those income resources, and it kind of how about a crate dragon for drawing with Egnards? Oh my god, a crate dragon would be tough. Mon Mothma, but Phil. We did, Xander, you were here last week when we did Phil in a suit, right? File, open. I'll show you if you didn't see it. This is Fat Phil in a Wampa suit. We did this last week for those of you. That's right, Swayze, Broncos country. We did, let's see, what else did we do? We got to go over to my Swugga backup. This one is a favorite of mine. Quiggled. Did Quiggled. That was a beautiful one. That was recent as well. Gungan drinking a beer. We did Gungans. Hey, look at this. We got Gungan drinking a beer. And then this one is what started it all. Jabba and Slave Leia. Oh, Crate Dragon would be fucking hard. We could try a Crate Dragon. On Mothma Bafil. That was, yeah. We could try a crate. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything we can do for a crate dragon. Let's pop this over. We gotta pop. We need a source. We need like a picture to go off of. Oh man, Pirate Captain Jude Law. Remind me next week, Adis. Pirate Captain Jude Law would be a really good one for next week when Jude Law is out. Let's go crate dragon. Let's see what these fuckers look like. Fuck. Dragons are hard. That's what she said. There's a lot of different references for crate dragons. Like, because some of them just look like a penis. And other ones kind of like have some, like on Wikipedia, you've got like this really solid dragon. This one's going to come out like tough. Oh, there's. Lego Star Wars crate dragon actually looks like a dragon. I kind of like this reference picture. Because I have a feeling we're going to have a hard time drawing the whole body. Oh shit, we don't have one next week. That's right. I don't know. But I'm already dead set on this crate dragon, even though it's going to be very tough. Let's see. Okay. It's going to be a fucking hard one. All right. We need to bring this brush size up just a little bit. Let's go with. Where do you even start? I feel like you start at the mouth. So if we go like, no, it's too big. If we start here. That's too small. And it just looks like a fucking hand puppet. Yes. Health, all health on him. All health. All health on Grievous. All right, we got to make this mouth wider. I don't like this. Where's the eraser? Looks like he's fucking toothless right now. This needs to be spikier. Kind of just looks like hair. No, I don't like that. This one needs to be longer. That's what she said. Give it like these little antenna things. It looks like a sock puppet. Like, does it even have eyes? I can't even fucking tell. I think that this is an eye up here. Is the eye up here, or is where the fuck is the eye? Okay, it's up by its mouth. And we're gonna give it like a, I don't know, I need another concept. Let's go with this. No, not black. Fuck. Oh, there we go. I just was doing it wrong. Forgot about that. You're just amused by the numbers. I was gonna try and draw the Mandalorian on the side. It's a mutant Triceratops. Fucking. All right. His teeth kind of have a yellowish to it, but I feel like it's more of a dull yellow. Let's see if we can find like he's got like gum disease. And in the background, we're going to do like a light blue. Kind of a sandy color, right? It's a very tan kind of sand, so it's the same. No, that's too much. He's like a brown, brownish green. Uh, hmm. Got to give him a little bit of texture. No, it's too red. I don't like the red. We need more brown. Kind of like a Trogdor style crate dragon. We'll do Let's see. Let us see. The Mandalorian. He's got like his black triangle face, right? He's got like little stains over here. Okay. I'm happy with it. I am. This is my picture for the day. Oh, you can't see the whole thing? Hold on, let me zoom it out. You can't see the Mandalorian in there. I don't know why. Give me a second. There it is. That is the Mandalorian fighting a crate dragon. That is our masterpiece for the day. I think it is beautiful. I think it is great. I think anybody would be lucky to have this. I will be selling prints for $50. I will print it on my printer and sign it and deliver it to you. Have it delivered to you. This is a 1 of 5 print. With that said, though, we are basically done with brunch for the day. I know that that's sad. I know it's upsetting. We are going to see if anybody is on Twitch. I see Womprat is playing Dune. I see that Nooch is playing Raid Shadow Legends.
Super awesome for me. That's super awesome.
Now,
Toby's my guy.
I think we are going to raid Nooch today because it's been a while since I've done that. And he and I have been talking a little bit more lately. And I like to return the favors, and he likes to raid me as well. Just as a reminder, next week there is no brunch. I will be working all day. Think about it. Be sad. I understand. We don't like when there's no brunch. We will try to do something that night with GAC, depending on when the Broncos game ends, because I need to watch the Broncos game. But thank you guys for joining me for brunch. I enjoy it every week. It's one of my favorite times of the week is when we are doing brunch. It does make me happy. I do get excited when we're doing it. It's what I look forward to. So I appreciate that time spent with you guys. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day.